What's up, guys? It's Ghost Robo, and you're looking at a match of guerrilla warfare on the oh-so-pretty map, Kaznan Jungle. It's definitely my favorite visually and artistically, although I've had a really tough time getting good rounds on Kaznan Jungle just because it's so condensed and so chaotic, and most of the action boils down to this one central four-way access crater. And it's not just those four ways that cause all the confusion down there, but the fact that there's also roof access, and I'll spend some time later on in the match atop that crater, and you'll get to see why to me it feels like an epic military hill battle where you have one side rushing through the crater and they're just getting picked off from above and they have no idea what hit them, and it's kind of just a big mess of blood and guts and gunfire and intensity, but it's really awesome, so definitely look for that. I do want to talk to you a little bit, though, about the very serene subject of sleep, because I've been playing most of my Killzone 3 before I go to bed. I've put in about 6 hours so far into the online, and most of that has been late at night. And I'm sure at one point in your life or another, you've heard the phrase, "Shut it off, go to bed now," from a parent or an uncle or a babysitter or somebody. And I find that most parents just truthfully believe that electronics before bed are a very negative thing for your health and for your sleep patterns. And I think most people with children will instruct their kids to relax or meditate or do something calm or, just lay in bed. And I really think in some ways that that's counterproductive, because I know for myself when I was younger, the more I would lay there quietly, the crazier my mind would get and the crazier my thoughts would become, and I'd start freaking out about what if I don't wake up, or what if I have some crazy out-of-body experience while I'm sleeping and it just freaks me out for the rest of my life, or what if this or what if that. And the whole notion of being quiet and still for me just caused more disruption within my mind than had I been playing some super intense video game. And I think that's why you find a lot of people falling asleep when reading or falling asleep when doing some common task, because their mind is absorbed within that task or within that endeavor, and therefore their body just sort of takes over and says, look, it's time to shut down, it's time to rest. And the idea that we must focus on being calm and must focus on sleep, in some cases, sure, is great, is beneficial. There are plenty of people who can meditate and soothe themselves that way. But for myself, and I think for a lot of people who have overactive minds, or the type of people who spend a lot of time on the computer or internet or constantly have thoughts flowing through their head, it's not necessarily the end of the world to watch TV to fall asleep or to listen to an iPod. I still do that sometimes just to take my mind off whatever is flowing through there. Just listen to an iPod, listen to a podcast, and that instantly takes my brain away from focusing on falling asleep and just places it in a place where it can relax and be still, because it's being subtly occupied by something that isn't my own creation. If I was creating the podcast in my head, if I was having that dialogue amongst myself, one, it would be really freaky and weird. I'd probably have to go see a doctor, and two, I wouldn't be able to fall asleep. And I think that's kind of the case with a lot of things in life. The more you focus on them and place all of your intensity, you kind of have a hard time. Granted, if it's something like, I'm going to work out or become the greatest basketball player in the world, yes, you need to put extreme focus there. But when it's something especially that involves the mind, or you're deciding whether or not you should do something or make a choice or ask someone out on a date or something like that, I feel like the more you focus on that specific action, that specific thought, the crazier it becomes and the more it can sort of morph into something disastrous and morph into something that's larger than it really is. And I coach high school basketball, I'm the head coach, and I'm always reminding my players, guys, we just need to play the game and just play how you know how to play. You don't really need to overthink, this is how I shoot the basketball, this is how I make a pass, this is how I do this play. You just react. And so I at times try to keep timeouts and stuff during games at a lighter tone, because you don't need intense seriousness and be like, we have to do this perfectly, because inevitably you'll be placing so much mind share on doing it perfectly, you'll do it very not perfectly. And all these studies that show, playing video games at a certain hour is disruptive to your body, I guess I can see maybe the light stimulation for your eyes or some more physical effects, but the mental effect of playing a video game before bed, I really don't think there's that much of a problem. I think in some ways it can place your mind in a place where you're spent. You've used a lot of your energy and thought for focusing on this game and trying to be really intense with that, and then you're ready to just go and crash. For me, that's kind of the case. I know when I was probably about 10 or 11, I had this real big fear that someone was going to come and break into my house while I was sleeping, and so I was really OCD about it. And I look back now and it's absolutely hilarious, because I would lock the windows once, twice, 3 times in some cases, and I'd just be mashing down on the lock like, close tighter, can't you give me a stronger lock? And of course no one ever robbed me, but I placed so much focus and emphasis on lying in bed and being like, did I lock this window, did I lock that window, trying to remember. And it wasn't until I just walked out of my room and laid on the couch and said, hey, I'm going to watch ESPN, watch SportsCenter, place my focus on the sports, the top 10 plays, whatever was going on. And then, of course, it was late, and so I'd fall asleep instantly. But I think that for a lot of people, you try too hard, and you ultimately will fail. And it's just very important to realize when enough is enough, and you might just want to try an alternate avenue to achieving what you're trying to achieve, no matter how small or big that thing may be, whether it's trying to fall asleep, or to do well at Killzone 3, or to ask someone out on a date, or to apply for a certain job. Whatever you're trying to do, if it's not working, you just have to acknowledge that it's not working and be okay to try an alternate avenue. So if you're a parent or a kid and you're having trouble falling asleep, it's not the end of the world to mix things up. As I break this guy's neck here, wrap up this match, I finished 13-2, which is a pretty good score, and I will let you know that in my 6 hours of play, the highest kill count in Guerrilla Warfare that I've seen is 16. I've gotten it twice, and I've seen 1 or 2 other people pick up 16, but that is the peak so far that I have seen. Make sure that you guys send me your clips for Killzone 3. I really would like to build the Killzone 3 YouTube community, and I think by sending in clips and making a top 5 show, we can get that done. So upload your clips to a file sharing site and send me a PM here on YouTube with the link. I'll download it, I'll compile the series, and we'll get that up as soon as I start receiving some clips from you guys. Well, let's play some Killzone 3. Let's have a great time. Hope you had a great time watching this video. Thank you very much. Hit that thumbs up button if you enjoyed what you saw. And until next time, guys, we'll see you later.